Morning, another beautiful day in God's kingdom. When trouble comes, your first reaction is always a very important thing. What is it that comes to your mind first? What are the first actions that you take? And of course, we are taking a look at family this month. So, what happens when there's a crisis in the family? What do you actually do? Let's take a look and see what David does in the book of 1 Samuel, and we look at chapter 30, and let's read what David did. He said to Abiathar the priest, he said, "Bring me the ephod." So Abiathar brought it, and then David asked the Lord, "Should I chase after this band of raiders? Will I catch them?" And the Lord said to him, "Yes, go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you." And as David asked these questions, of the Lord and prays, well, obviously he's praying and he's talking to God. I find something important there that I think we need to take note of. You know, I would have thought that his first reaction should be, "Come on, guys, let's go after these men. Let's look for the people who stole, who kidnapped our families. Let's go after them immediately." And of course, the men would have followed him straight away without question. But you see, David did something. He stopped and he asked God. And it wasn't only the fact that he asked God, it was the questions that he asked of God. Yesterday we were saying that he asked specific questions of God and, he got the answers. But I want to even take a look at what he was saying to God. He said, "Should I go after these men? Should I chase after them?" And the funny thing is, you think about it and you think, well, of course that's what you should do. I mean, that sounds like the most obvious thing ever, that somebody has come, raided your home, burnt down your home, burnt everything, and taken away your family, taken away your wives and your children and all of that. Of course, your first reaction should be to go straight after them. But that was not David's first reaction. His first reaction was to go to God and say, "Okay, God, should I actually go after them? Should I do the most obvious things?" And it takes some, it makes me think that, you see, these were some of the qualities of David that were so endearing to God, that even when things seem so obviously within our power to do, we still defer to God and we still say, "God, should I do this thing that seems to be so obvious? This thing that everybody is saying, of course you should do it. Of course you should go after them. Of course, you should take that job. Of course you should ask that woman to marry you. Of course you should, even begin to have children right now." He goes to God and says, "God, should I do even this thing that seems so obvious?" And it just shows me that, you see, David was so surrendered to God that he could trust God. In fact, he trusted God for everything that he was doing. And that is a lesson for us as well. That even when we find ourselves in a place of crisis with our families, with our, in our businesses, in our workplaces, wherever it is that we are in, let's not immediately take the most obvious action. Let's pause and say a prayer and ask God for direction, even when we know that there is a particular step, there is an obvious step for us to take. And I pray that the Lord will guide us and guard us and lead us and direct us in the way that we should go. In the name of Jesus, God bless you. Have a beautiful day.